Hey there, thanks for joining us on this special Q&A episode of the Made It in Music podcast. Recently, we posted an episode with Rick Barker, who is a music marketing guru. Make sure you check that out when you get the chance. In this episode, members of our Song Chasers community got to ask specific questions, and now you get to hear the answers. Our Song Chasers community members get to watch these trainings live every single month. They get to interact with Seth and each of our guests, and then we always open the floor for them to ask any questions they want. If you would like to learn more about the Song Chasers community, head over to joinsongchasers.com. Now let's go ahead and get into this Q&A session with Rick Barker.
While we got Rick on, as you guys can tell, Rick is a black belt in all things marketing, music marketing, and helped launch the career of Taylor Swift. So now is your chance to ask him any questions that you have about marketing. I guess you could ask him about golf or babies or animals too, because he's
absolutely, yeah. Well, I think I kind of answered the songwriter thing, right? You got the answer that you needed there.
Yeah, and I think your example of going through YouTube was really great, but I'd love to reiterate that just once again, because there are a lot of people in Song Chasers, whether they're watching it live right now or on replay, who aren't necessarily trying to be artists. So what does even just your best, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, how should songwriters be thinking about marketing themselves?
Yeah. So the thing is that your audience is going to be different. Now, some of you may be good enough singers and you may ultimately not want to be the artist. Go ahead and get your songs out there. Go ahead and get the songs working. Go ahead and bring something that, hey, I got this song that already has 1,000 views on TikTok. I know if you were to do it, we could get 10,000 views. So go ahead and try to build your own story first. It's like, don't wait for the story to happen. Build your own story first. Also, too, is inside the group, the best place to find your next collaborator is inside the Song Chasers community, quite honestly. I mean, I know a lot of people that are in there. I know a lot of people that have audiences already. I know a lot of people that are good vocalists, your next collaborator, your next producer, somebody who's in Song Chasers that's going through EXO and Seth's program, who's already making demos here in Nashville for people, maybe the person that produces your next song. So your marketing is going to be to the people that are going to help you get your music to that other person or to that next place. It's not necessarily going to be to the fans, if that makes sense.
Well said. You got a good question from Jesse Bowman on the chat as well.
Yeah, so when you say Google discovery, Jesse, go ahead and unmute yourself. Let's have a conversation.
Sure. So what I'm referring to is like Google discovery ads. I know for my business or my day job, we use Google discovery ads to do like lead generation for people that might be interested in like purchasing basically polo shirts and things.
Yeah,
in business.
Got it. So
I remember you mentioned something about Google discovery for musicians. I didn't really think.
Yeah, so Google discovery for me, for musicians, I wasn't necessarily going down the ads route. I was going more of when they type in your name, Google's going to populate, is Jesse most active on Facebook? Is Jesse most active on Instagram? Is Jesse have a website? So then those people are going to pick whatever one of those that they want to go see. So that's what I meant by discovery on Google, is if somebody hears you on Spotify and they just happen to go, dude, I like this guy's sound, I'm going to hit his voice. Then usually what they're going to do is, if your name isn't the same, and a lot of us, Jesse Bowman's probably a pretty popular name. Carolyn Cates is definitely a popular name. We may not be the only Rick Barker, which I'm not. I'm the third, but they will go to Google after that. If they can't readily find you on Instagram or on Twitter or on Facebook, or if when you signed up for your, Instagram page, you were going through a stage and it's sexy thing 69 or whatever, and that's really not your name, and they're not going to find you on Instagram, the big sexy Jesse or whatever you are on there. Then they're going to go to Google and they're going to type in your name, and then what's going to pop up after that. Google owns YouTube. YouTube ads are much better than Google discovery ads at businesses. Like for businesses, it's easy for me because I can call out a problem that someone's having and be the solution to their problem. Is somebody looking for a new song to sing along to? Probably not going to work so well on a Google ad, but YouTube ad. Hey, before you watch, the Lauren Daigle video, I just wanted to tell you, huge fan of the video, by the way. I'm Jesse, da 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 da. So I would use Google Ads more on the YouTube pre-roll and in the YouTube discovery on the side. I wouldn't do Google AdWords on websites and things like that. Okay. Do you use sites like MailChimp or sites that link social together and post only once? MailChimp, Helping Hands, doesn't have really anything to do with posting to social. It's a mail platform. I use ConvertKit. What I use is if you want to help. So Creator Studio will take care of Facebook and Instagram for you. That's part of Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same people. You can also use platforms like Hootsuite, HOOTSUITE, will allow you, even off of a free account, to post to multiple sites. But what I don't want you doing, any of you, is post the same thing to Twitter, the same thing to Instagram, and the same thing to Facebook at the same time. Okay? There's no reason for me to support you anywhere else. A lot of the tags that we use are not the same across platforms. A lot of the hashtags are not the same across platforms, but definitely you could schedule right inside of Twitter. You can schedule right inside of Instagram. Heck, you can schedule your lives now, which is super cool inside of Instagram, and people can save the event to be reminded of when you go live. Real quick, I'll show you how to do that for those of you that are going to start going live on Instagram. Remember, all right. So on Instagram, when we go to our main page, up here in the plus button, I want to post a live, and it's going to give me the ability with this little calendar right now to schedule the start time. And then what's going to happen is after I've done that, we'll just pretend I've done it. Let's just, let me just go to a story, and I'll just take this picture. And if I hit the little post-it note button right next to the A, it's going to give me the ability now. We have location, questions, music, hashtag, link, donation, countdown. Where'd it go? Selfie, link. What's cool now is you can put a link. You can send people to your Spotify page. You could send people to your website. So that's cool to be able to put a link. But because I don't have an event scheduled, once I have an event scheduled, it'll a little post-it here will say event, and you can put it and it'll pop it up, and then somebody could tap on it and say, would you like to be reminded when this thing's going to happen? So it's cool to schedule things out there. Questions are always really fun to do. That's some great content and material also. So now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Awesome.
In progress.
Hey, really quick, want to mention Dave Langdon's got his hand raised as well.
Yep, I'll unmute him. Dave, unmute yourself.
Hi, Rick.
Hey, buddy.
Hearing your stuff. Can you clarify, before you talked about, posting with a purpose to get your music out there. Again, for a songwriter, I've got so many songs. I'm really stockpiling my songs for later when I will be releasing them in a planned kind of way. But what's the balance if you want to get your music out there, but you just have demo quality stuff?
Here's the thing. If Eric Clapton walked in with a guitar vocal of Tears in Heaven right now, I'd be sharing the crap out of that song. There are certain things that you have. Once again, you're holding yourself back. It's like, it doesn't have to, here's the thing. People will forgive poor video. They will not forgive poor audio. So just make sure that it's a quality recording. You could even share a verse and a chorus with somebody and just say, hey, going in the studio to work on the rest of this, just wanted to share it with you. I'm okay with stuff like that. Your audience will appreciate that. The other thing too is I just want your name to show up in their feed. So however you're serving them up until the point that you're ready to start dropping them music, it's like, so that way when the music comes, they're like, oh my God, Dave's a singer? Dave's always liking my stuff. He's always commenting on my stuff. He's always sharing my stuff. Heck yeah, I want to see what Dave's all about. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes that mystery works well for some of you songwriters. So just don't post something because Rick said you had to post something. Posting with a purpose to me means your stuff is dropping. Do the hooks, do the lyrics, share Martin Luther King quotes, share Oprah Winfrey quotes. Go to Google and type in the 100 happiest quotes in the world, the 100 motivational quotes, and you're going to see it. Click the word images and then take those, drop them on, give credit to the person who said it, and put your handle down at the bottom and share that thing. That happens all day long on my page. Let me show you here real quick. This. So Instagram.com, here's my profile. Okay. Surround yourself with those that are hungry for success. So something that I heard, I liked, I don't know who said it, so I didn't give it to them. If you are working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Steve Jobs. And then, of course, it's in my branding. You can't rewrite the past, but you can grab a clean sheet of paper and write your future. Saw that somewhere. I liked it. I created a post out of it. You won't always be motivated, so you must learn always. Be disciplined. Okay. Something I heard. Then all of a sudden, I'm going to try to sell you some merch. This isn't going to be every post. Then this one, fail trying, don't fail watching. Okay. Saw that. All of a sudden, we get a lot of good response on this. Okay. Me promoting my podcast. Me giving some value. Me promoting myself, but also giving value.
What's your hook
at the same time?
Story. Just because you decide to release a song does not make it press worthy. What's the hook? What's the
So this is a lot of what Seth and I do. These kind of meme deals is we'll be in there talking. We have the words kind of going on. We're providing some form of service. I'm hoping somebody goes, dude, this dude's badass. Now I'm going to go to his link tree. And now I'm going to go get his free marketing training. I'm going to go see his free discovery module. I'm going to go to a social media session. I'm going to go learn how to market. I'm going to go. You see what I'm saying? Is it's like all this stuff. So when they see all this stuff, then
you need to be very.
That's what I mean by
about your marketing.
Posting with a purpose. That's what I mean by. So for you, Dave, it might be sharing other people's stuff right now. It might be some of your own lyrics. It might be you driving in the car telling this, I woke up with this hook in my head and I couldn't stop. And now I'm on my way to go write with my co-writer. I can't wait to share with you later what comes from this. Ooh, talk about a teaser. You know what I mean? That's the stuff.
For sure. Let's take one more question, Rick, and then want to make sure to give people all the info of. Well, yep. we know where we can find you now. We've all seen the Instagram, but anything else that you want to share with the group?
You got it. Let me just, but I could get all of these real quick. Okay. I have a super common name, and although I have a decent voice, I ultimately want to stay on the songwriter side of things. Based on your suggestion to just start getting music out there anyway, would you suggest I create an artist name to stand out even as a songwriter? No, just create your name. Your name is fine. You are perfect being you. Look at some of the names of television anchors now. It used to be everybody changed their names to be perfect, and now we got names no one can even pronounce half the time on television. So don't even worry about that. Can you also schedule to have something get posted at a later date? Yeah, that's what scheduling is, Suzanne. Is it scheduling something to post at a later date, later time, however it is. I do not understand the hashtag thing. How do they work? How do you know what to use? So hashtags are basically an organized conversation of whatever the hashtag is. Indie artist, hashtag indie artist. It's all about indie artists. I'm not a huge fan of the big ones. Used to be in the beginning stages of Instagram. It was cool. I think all of you should have your own hashtag for your song, for your name. And I need you to go in and re-edit 15, 16 of your best posts. Put that hashtag in there so it populates into the actual hashtag itself. Only use 2 or 3 hashtags. The worst thing you can do is in your post, just put a hashtag, because then somebody clicks on it. Now they've left you. We've worked so hard to get them to you, and now you just send them someplace else, and they may or may not come back to you. So hashtag independent artist, hashtag Texas artist, hashtag songwriter. Be very selective. And I teach a whole bunch on that in some of my other stuff, but that's what a hashtag is. It's just everything that's a hashtag goes to this conversation. Most of the time you never show up. That's why always have your own hashtag. For every one of your songs, have a hashtag. You use it on your stuff. It'll populate. So when they go to it, it's just a photo album of you, basically, at that time. Best way to get with me is from Instagram. Just at Rick Barker Music. Follow me. There's a whole bunch of links in my bio for a whole bunch of cool stuff. And then just be on the lookout. There's a couple more things that I'll be doing for you guys. I think I'm doing audits in a couple weeks where, as Suzanne passed her test, some of you guys, I think Riley's going to get a few of you that are going to let me walk down your yellow brick road and see. We're going to go at it from the listener discovery. We're going to walk down the path and see what happens there. And I just want to say, Helping Hands, what is your first name?
Miriam.
Miriam, your smile.
Yeah, I just have to work through my.
Yeah, your smile has been very infectious today, and I appreciate it. What I learned as a speaker is to hone in on the smiles, and you were real easy to hone in on. So all of you playing shows, don't look at Grumpy Cat. You go find the smile like that. Like Nets is smiling now. It's like that's just a trick that we learned. But I just wanted to say thank you. And also, too, is if you ever just click on your name, you can change it, too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I echo that. And yes, Rick's doing our marketing audit. That's going to be April 20th at 3:30 p.m. If anybody's interested in getting their online presence audited live, just like Rick did today, it's going to be an awesome thing. Make sure to submit that to Riley.
I'll be posting about that very soon.
She's going to post about that. And our challenge for this month, and Rick, you'll be excited about this one, but for many people, it's literally just going to be, for the first time ever, establishing some form of a website presence. Yes. So it's not a hard thing to do. Our challenge for the month is literally, if you don't have a website, create one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be a landing page, and you can do it on something as easy as Bandzoogle, which literally, I'm not a web designer, and I went on and created one just to see if I could.
It's super easy. Yeah. If all of you go to rickbarker.com/discovery, I'll give you 14-day access to my discovery module from my Vault program. And I do a walkthrough on how to build a website in Bandzoogle in there. And yeah, so if you're worried, there's so many. You can use Wix, you can use Bandzoogle, you can use whatever works out there. But yeah, it's super easy to do. But it's rickbarker.com/discovery. And you'll have access to it for 14 days, which should give you plenty of time to get your challenge done. I love that you're challenging them.
Yeah.
Now, do they get voted off the island if they don't have a website? Or so do we put their flame out? What do we do?
We don't have any negative consequences per se, but
No.
we maybe something to consider.
Yeah, Song Chaser Survivor, man. It's conversation for themselves.
Last
It's funny because, and I say this, so I have people that, so I've been doing coaching on Monday nights for 3 years, and we rotate it. And I have people that spend $100 a month that show up, never ask a question, always comment on everything. They bought every course that I own, and I go to their website and it looks like garbage. And finally, I had to call them out. I finally said, look, stop being a know-it-all in the group and get off your butt and go get this thing done. And I called his name out. I did everything. You know who's got the best looking website in my group right now? Sometimes we have to stop coddling you guys and just nurturing you. It's like, it's ultimately your business. So if you fail, you're going to fail. I mean, what Seth and I charge to work with people does not change our tax bracket. Our wives still argue with us the same amount. It doesn't change a whole lot in our worlds. But the information that we give you can absolutely have major impact on yours if you do something with it. So I like how he's always Mr. Nice and Mr. This. Don't come into my world because I'll call your ass out. I'll say, why are you wasting my time and your time and your money? And, so do yourself a favor. If you're one of those people that's been sitting on the fence and you know who you are, take the challenge. Yeah. And then at the end of the month, if you didn't complete the challenge, make this the last course that you purchase because you're wasting your money. Mm. And I say that respectfully. Let that be the one thing that you do here is if you can't do something as simple as open your business. This is your restaurant. If you can't open your restaurant, don't be a poser and a faker and be in these groups acting like you're participating because you're a fraud. Hmm. And I see so often with artists that they do that, and I don't want that to be you. It does not have to be the best website at all, but at least show yourself that you can get something done. And if you can't, have that serious conversation with yourself going, man, if I were my best employee, would I still have a job? Look at what you do every day. Look at what you do every month with your music and with all these things that we're teaching you. And look at yourself and go, would I hire myself or would I fire myself for what it is that I got done this month? Mm-hmm. Now that's some real stuff right there, right? Those are conversations that you start having with yourself. You're like, oh my God, I just had to fire myself. I fired myself on many occasions. My ego was so huge and I could talk the talk and walk the walk and I could BS anybody. But all of a sudden, my daughter called me out. Dad, I notice, because her room's right across from here, I notice you keep telling all these people on your webinars to do this and do that. And I noticed you haven't done this. And I'm like, whose kid are you? It's like, it was her who came in because I got so caught up in everything. I'm like, wait, how can I be telling you what you need to do if I'm not even doing it myself? So when you go to my website, spot on. When you go to my socials, spot on. When you want to know who's posting every day, I pay someone to schedule them for me, but I'm there every single day. So that's why I say that, because sometimes we talk a good talk and I see people going from convention to convention and from workshop to workshop and from Facebook group to Facebook group with this great front. And then you look at their stuff and you're like, really? Those aren't the people we want to hang out with. So Seth, say something positive before we leave.
Hey, everybody, let's give Rick a big virtual hand clap out there for awesome presentation today and the tough love. We all need to hear that every now
virtual hugs.
Yeah, exactly. Rick, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate you.
Awesome. We'll talk soon, guys and gals.
Thanks again.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out this special Q&A episode of the Made It in Music podcast. At Full Circle Music, we're constantly developing free and premium resources for anyone who wants to find success in the music industry, because we know it's hard. We've all started with nothing, and we want to help you accomplish the dreams that you've always had for the music you create. You can go to madeitinmusic.com to learn more about our podcast. And if you'd like to actually participate in these training and Q&A sessions live on our Song Chasers community, go to joinsongchasers.com. Joining these sessions is an exclusive opportunity just for members, and we would love to have you join hundreds of other songwriters inside the community if you're interested. Plus, there are dozens of other major benefits that Song Chasers members get that we have designed to help move their careers and goals forward as simply as possible. Again, go to joinsongchasers.com. Thank you for supporting this show, and I hope you'll stick around for the next episode.